got different steps to do things. And
it's all in the process, Jimmy?
yeah, if you skip a step, then you're in, like if you don't get the wall sealed, you're not going to have good coverage. You're going to have holidays, you're going to have what they call is flash, like not shiny here, dull here. When you're using a finish like we're having here, you want to have a uniform finish. So if you don't take the proper steps to prep it right, to get the wall sealed, and you're using a finish on the kitchen and bathrooms which is got a sheen to it, you have to make sure it's all sealed properly so you can have a good look, good finish, good uniformity on your finish. And you're going to sit back when it's done and look at it and going, the walls are covered. I see no holidays. I've done everything, proper steps, 1, 2, 3, 4 finish, and you're going to sit back and admire your job that you took the time and effort to do it right. And why not? It's your home.
Amen, brother.
Why not?
Why not? You might as well do it. If you're going to do a job, you might as well do it right, huh?
Exactly.
Sometimes it's easier to do it right than to try to piecemeal it and skimp if it doesn't come out right.
No, you're going to run into problems. You won't be happy, and then you'll lose sleep over it, and then that'll instill bad health. The next thing you know, your frame of mind is bent.
Jeez.
Because you haven't done something.
You made a good point there.
Yeah, like, you just can't throw texture on a wall with a brush and expect it to look good. You gotta have the proper equipment, and you just have to tape everything off and prepare the walls, and like we've done here, we've done everything. And it's going to add to the final new counters. It's going to add to the whole job. Will look really nicely done because we've taken the steps to do it right. And that's a good way to look at a home project. Don't try to cut corners.
Yeah.
Because you'll end up unsatisfied. Maybe the missus will get unhappy, and your neighbors will come over and say, who did that? And then you'll have to tell them, well, I didn't take the proper steps to seal the wall. My paint's peeling off. Or you have water stains like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Water stains in the walls. Say we went through all this process and we didn't seal those water stains with a good primer, sealer, stain killer, and here you are, spent all this time and you got stains bleeding through because you skipped the process.
Yeah.
You skipped one of the steps.
Then it's not just a matter of one more coat over that or the sealer, because you got sealer and 2 more coats of finish.
Exactly. So, if there's an issue, if you question anything about a stain, seal it. Just kill the stain and then go with the finish.
Yeah, or use that universal primer you're talking about.
Universal primer is a good.
Wow. Yeah, it's cool.
It's a good problem solver of any type of stain. And like I say, you can use it on the inside and outside. So I'm going to get my little roller and get the edges there. Over here it is. Here's my...
Hey, you know what? I was waiting to see you use your cut-in brush, but because they're going to put crown molding up everywhere, I don't know if you're going to need it.
Yeah, probably not. Like if I was going to cut it in and we weren't going to do crown, I'd use a real stiff angle 2.5-inch brush, and it cuts a nice line.
Hey, do you have that brush handy? You could just show me what you're talking about.
That would be a good angle brush.
An angled.
And here's a good example. Here's a brush that's got a soft brush fibers.
Yeah.
They're soft, you can see. And then you got one that's stiffer.
Yeah.
So when you're cutting a line, say, like I'm up here, if we're going to do crown, I'd be up on the ladder and I could just let the brush flow right along the edge line. And let the brush fibers, because it's stiff. See, this you can't get it's too soft, but this is for like trim to brush up. But when you're cutting a line, a nice stiff, they make different textured brushes. Stiff, soft, firm. So you can cut a nice line. And you can cut that line and not even have to tape it.
So is that your size that you generally use? What is that? An inch and a half,
This is
2
an
inch?
inch and a half. I'd use a 2 inch. Probably doing that up there, a 2 inch. This is a 2.5. I'd probably use a 2 inch if I was doing the cut in only without any crown. If I just want to cut the drywall in at the top line, I just use the regular. Yeah.
And this inch and a half, it's angled too.
Angle sash, yeah.
And it's nice to have an angle on there, right? So that you can kind of get up in the nooks and crannies. It's
Exactly.
It's not cut straight across. You see that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's at an angle.
So you got to have the right brush for the, you know, and there's a reason why they're like that too. The stiffer ones will give you a better line, cleaner line. You got more control. Got more control of the brush. When they're a soft textured brush, it's hard to control it, but it's nicer for brushing out smooth brush strokes on doors or baseboards, stuff like that.
I got one and it had a tapered end.
Tapered,
And
yeah.
it seemed a little bit easier to do the cut in.
Yeah, it's taper brush, yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are good.
I sort of like that. And not all of them are tapered.
Yeah.
You know, it's cut at an angle and it's also tapered. So it's a little bit easier to use.
A lot easier.
I got one and it had a tapered end.
Tapered,
And
yeah.
it seemed a little bit easier to do the cut in.
Yeah, it's taper brush, yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are good.
I sort of like that. And not all of them are tapered.
Yeah.
You know, it's cut at an angle and it's also tapered. So it's a little bit easier to use.
A lot easier.
Why would you want to get one angled that was not tapered?
Yeah, sometimes it depends on what surface you're working on.
I don't know.
Personal touch, I guess, choice about what type of brush, you know, you can use.
I see you're using a little mini roller there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm getting along the edge of the wallpaper line so I don't have an overlap of paint coming onto the paper. With a thicker roller, you'll have an edge, and the paint will actually go on over to the paper, which you don't want.
Yeah, because right on the left-hand edge of that is wallpaper in this opening. Wallpaper on that edge, and there's also wallpaper in the hallway and everything.
Yeah.
If you use a regular roller, it would go over the edge of that, maybe 3/4 of an inch or so, and you got to constantly wipe that off.
Right. Yeah,
You know, so because he's in a little confined area, you can use a little mini roller like this, and he's got a little tight area next to the refrigerator. He's going to squeeze that down in there too.
Exactly.
And that mini roller is really something you got to have in your paint toolkit arsenal.
Yeah.
I've got one of those, and that comes in handy.
And they're not that expensive,
Well,
and it just makes things a lot easier. When you have all your right tools, you can finish the job a lot easier. You different formats for the roller, different areas you got to get into.
the good thing with lots of painting tools, lots of the stuff is really not that expensive.
No, not at all. No.
You know, for the amount of time you're going to save on your job, you can invest a little bit of money for that. It seems as though you're going to do it yourself from now on. We're teaching you all the steps and how to do your own painting, so you don't have to pay a professional painter like Jim here.
Yeah, and you can use your tools over and over again if you clean them out properly and wash and take care of your tools. It's not like you're using it once and throwing it away. And the more you use things, the more projects you want to do. So why not buy some good equipment, rollers, brushes, take care of them, and then you can use them, because the more confidence you gain in yourself by doing these jobs yourself, you'll realize that to have nice material, nice equipment, nice brushes, rollers, you'll use them over and over again.
Yeah.
Because it'll instill confidence in your ability to complete a project.
Jim, have you done many videos before?
No, I haven't.
Dude, you sound like a professional here.
This is my first experience.
See, I'm not slowing you up much, am I? I'm trying to stay out of your way. You're talking as you're working.
Yeah, we're working together good here. Nice to be a part of something that might help somebody save their own project and do it properly and right. just by getting some tips from somebody that does it all the time. So we're taking this tape off just to see where I'm at as far as how this is covered on the line here. And so far as I see, it looks pretty good. Now sometimes I'll take this and just go right along there nicely, and then just do like that, and you're done.
And this is his first coat, so he'll probably have to do this again.
Yeah, the
mini roller when he gets done, you know.
Yeah, so we're looking good on the edge here. We've solved this area here where the wallpaper is behind here because the refrigerator cannot be moved at this time. So we've sealed that off and no longer can see the edge of the wallpaper, which is a good thing because you got to be careful when you're moving a refrigerator out from a wall. If you don't have any rollers on it, you could damage your floor if you just had a linoleum floor put in, and then you go to try to move and you're going to be unhappy, miserable, because you didn't take the precaution of
that's for sure.
you know,
So always check your refrigerator. That's a tip for you. Always. I don't care what you have to do. Take the bottom trim off. There's usually a bottom trim there on the refrigerator where the exhaust is. Pop that off. Shine a flashlight under there and make sure there's wheels on there.
Yeah, it should move quite easily if you move it a little bit. You'll be able to tell right off.
Because you don't want to start dragging them thinking, oh, I got wheels, it's going to slide out, it's going to slide out, it's going to slide out. And then, oops, it scratches your
It's too late. You ripped
your
the lid.
linoleum, it's ripped your linoleum, it scratched your hardwood flooring that now you have to patch. And we don't want that, do we?
No, not at all. You don't want to make the missus unhappy because your bags might be packed.
Or your ceramic tile is now cracked. Yes, you better pack your bags up right now.
Yeah.
That happens.
So just to avoid all that, to avoid all that, just take an extra step by looking at your before you move a refrigerator out. If you're painting or anything, most of the time they're on wheels, and it's a good thing to move them out to clean behind them anyway.
Yeah.
But if you don't have wheels on them, you can try to use sliders, and just have to be very cautious. Very cautious because you don't want to ruin your floor.
Yeah.
And
I would not recommend trying to do it by yourself. I've seen other guys who have to replace a floor or something, and they'll put this bag under there, and then they'll plug that in and blow it up, and it kind of lifts the refrigerator up a little bit off the floor, and then they kind of still have to jockey it out of place.
Exactly.
But you know, all refrigerators nowadays have wheels. You may think, hey, don't all refrigerators have wheels? No, they don't.
That's right. Yeah, they don't.
So be mindful of that next time you move your refrigerator.
Yeah. So